going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I'm getting drunk because of Zoom.
Yes, we are having problems with Zoom. But anyways, nonetheless.
If you have to guess how many beers I've cracked, it's 3 because Zoom is not working.
Yes, nonetheless, Christmas special NFL Beast Picks Week 17. Joining me, reigning 48 here in
I'm
Zoom
getting
chaos.
sued still.
So, yes, last week was an intense week. You got the over on here. You got 11 wins. I got 9. But a very interesting week nonetheless. The Kansas City Chiefs somehow managed to still survive another win. But we have reversals of all those 4 teams in this week's games now from the Saturday games for the special Netflix Christmas 2 games that are coming up as the start of NFL Week 17 for the Beast Picks.
Sure do.
And we are starting off with the Kansas City Chiefs at the Houston Texans at 1 o'clock.
You're wrong.
Or I'm sorry, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You're right.
At 1 o'clock. That was last week.
The Chiefs are a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah. And I picked the Texans to win last week. Unfortunately, it did show some promise in the beginning, but unfortunately, it still didn't last. But on the bright side,
prayers out to Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Prayers. Well, no, they're now saying he might miss the entire next season as well with that injury.
Yeah, like I'm amazed that he was able to hold on to the ball and get the touchdown still.
Kid's a great player, but his legs have not helped him in the league.
Yeah, like I mean, because they're saying it might not be that might be his last play too. If he almost lost his leg too. I'm really hoping he comes back. But yeah, that was a devastating injury. Great touchdown, a great catch, especially with what he ended up getting. But yeah, I really pray for that guy. But yeah. Anyways, the Chiefs are the favorites, but I believe this is the game. I cannot fathom the fact that I believe that the Buffalo Bills are going to be the only regular season team that could beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost this past week. They are in a dogfight with the Ravens now for that division. They need to win this game. I think this is the game for sure this time. I do believe the Kansas City Chiefs do lose this game in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh always usually plays better at home. I think the Steelers win 28-24. Pittsburgh Steelers gets it done. And I don't know if they win the division, if they win this game. I think the Ravens have – I don't know what the tiebreakers between those two, who gets it. But as of right now, I mean, I think they still control their destiny right now if they win out, but I'm not sure. But nonetheless, they do need to win if they want to keep this the division intact. Because I don't know if the Ravens – it's going to be tough for the Ravens to lose another game here.
I mean, they're both 10-5, so I don't think they can close it out tomorrow.
They're both 1-1 though against each other. So the head-to-head.
That's it. I don't think there's technically a head-to-head. You say you believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know what I believe in? Joe Hendry. Regardless, I am picking the Steelers because I told you last week in the show that I thought that the Chiefs' luck would run out. It just wasn't that soon. Give me the Steelers 21. The Chiefs 17.
All right. Next, the which by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, that game was on Netflix. It's exclusively on Netflix unless you are in the Steelers Chief area, Kansas City Chiefs or Kansas City area or the Pittsburgh area. Otherwise, it's on Netflix exclusively. And it is the same case for this next game, which is 4:30. Baltimore Ravens at the Houston Texans. Also, before I keep forgetting the fun fact, the announcer who's doing the Steelers game,
Ian Eagle.
He's 4-0. Yeah, he's 4 when they've called the Steelers game this year, they're 4-0. So that's
Oh,
just
well, then
another
give me the Chiefs.
motivating factor for the Steelers possibly winning that game. But anyways, yeah, Baltimore Ravens at the Houston Texans, 4:30 p.m. game on Netflix. What's the favorites? Just and then I got a question.
Ravens are 5.5 points.
They're for 5.5 points, and I also have just a question about how the Netflix, like, what if the game goes in the first game goes into overtime? Are they going to still overlap the other games, or they're going to be like
So
having
it's
different
just like
servers?
it's just like any streaming. There's no actual channel. You would X out of the existing game
Okay.
to the other game.
All right. Okay. So that makes sense. So you don't have to worry about the cutoffs or stuff like that from one
Correct. If you're
broadcast.
a Ravens or a Texans fan and you're watching the Steelers and Chiefs game, you can X out of that to go to the other game.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Ravens are the favorites, and yeah, I do think the Ravens are going to win. Houston still got the South. I think the Ravens are overall a better team than them. They know that they're right up with the Steelers. And obviously this is like the division. Like they're both playing for the same thing here. I say the Ravens win. I'm gonna say it is 24-14. Ravens.
Well, we're going against each other here. Give me the hangover. I'm taking the Texans for one big reason. Call me crazy. We're going to clip this. I've been telling you to clip these. A touchdown is scored this week by Deontay Johnson, who was just claimed by the Texans. Former Steeler, former Raven, former Panther. Didn't pan out with Baltimore if they traded for him. Deontay Johnson's going to prove that he's not washed. He's scoring at least a touchdown. Houston wins this one in a close game, 21-17.
Okay. Which, by the way, you did predict that the Bills would get an interception, or the Patriots would get an interception, but it was the wrong
It
player.
just wasn't Christian Gonzalez.
Yep. So there's that. Anyways, then we got the Thursday game, which is on Amazon. 8:15. The Seattle Seahawks at the Chicago Bears.
A battle of the who gives a fuck.
Well, Seattle gives a fuck.
They shouldn't because they suck. Seahawks are -4 favorites.
Yeah, the Seahawks, they still have a chance to win their division, whether it's bleak or not with the Rams. I mean, those are really the two teams still that have a chance to win the NFC West division. So if Seattle wants to have a shot here, they obviously have to beat the crappy Bears team. And I think they will beat them. I think Seattle gets this done pretty easily. The Bears are a horrible football team. And I'm going to say it is probably 23-3. Seattle easily wins this game. Not because of representative of them being good. It's just that the Bears just really suck.
See, it's the opposite for me. I don't think it's an easy game. I just think that Seattle ekes out an ugly win. I think the Bears are better than given credit for because I think Seattle to me shouldn't have gotten more than 5 wins. To me, the Bears and the Seahawks are the same team. I could see this game being closer than 4 points, absolutely. But I don't necessarily trust any of the coaching staff in Chicago. So give me Seattle 20, Chicago 17.
You said 20-17, right?
Yes.
Seattle? All right. All right. Now we have Saturday.
3 Saturday games.
Yeah, we have a Saturday, 1:00. We have the LA Chargers at the New England Patriots.
Chargers are a 4-point favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Patriots did look pretty good against the Bills.
Remember what I told you? Drake May is talented.
Yeah, you guys gotta be worried about that in 2 weeks now. But anyways,
I don't know if I'd say worried about that because anybody that's going to play in 2 weeks is probably going to be guys we saw. We were missing, to be fair, not making excuses because we should have throttled them. But we were missing 5 defensive starters.
yeah, and to be fair, I mean, week 18 it's going to depend on whether the Chiefs lose this game, and then going into week 18, they'll probably have to play, because then obviously the Chiefs will have to play for real.
Listen, for my benefit, I hope they win both the next 2 games because I'd win another $150 if they do.
You're talking about the Bills?
Oh yeah, I had the Bills over 14 wins, so they need to win out for me to win that money.
All right. But yeah, anyways, the Chargers obviously are in the playoff contention. I think they're right now sitting sitting
They
at
are in the 7th seed.
they're in the 7th seed. Well, there's the Broncos are in the 8th, or because I thought that because they just beat the Broncos.
Okay, they did slide. They're in the 6th. The Broncos are the 7th.
Yeah, the Broncos are in the 7th. That's what I thought. But yeah, I don't know if they want to go any further of the 5th, but because they can't win their division, so
I don't think they can go to 5th.
Probably not. But they're in a unique position because, like, again, they can't win their division. So, I mean, what do you do at this point?
The problem is they have to keep winning. Both these teams are 9 wins, and they are both in striking range of.
They haven't clinched it yet.
Correct. There's still 3 teams that can potentially get in. So you do have to keep winning.
All right. So, yeah, the Chargers got to play. The Patriots are probably going to play them tough, but in the end, the Chargers still get it done. I'm going to say it's 27-21. Give me the Chargers here against the Patriots, and a close game nonetheless, again, just like they did against Buffalo.
I'm not taking a close game. I think it's exactly what everybody said. It's a divisional game against Buffalo. The Patriots always play us tough. The Chargers know it's at stake here. The Chargers win this one pretty handily. Give me 27-13.
You got the Chargers, though.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, 4:30 Saturday, Denver Broncos at the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals are a 3.5-point favorite, and I do not agree with that.
The Bengals are 3.5-point favorites?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what Vegas was on
Are we
one.
both taking the upset here?
Yeah. Yeah. The upset that somehow is an upset. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Denver Broncos here. The Broncos lost, but it was in a very good matchup. I'm sure. I'm sure. Sean Payton was like, when he saw that fair catch, free kick, he was like, "God dang, that's gonna screw me over on that game."
The free kick isn't what pisses me off, because guess what? If Denver wins that game outright, I won $190 on Thursday.
Well, what was your thoughts on the free kick?
I was confused because I was watching the game without sound, so I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I had to go to Twitter. I had it on in my living room, and my dining room have 2 TVs set up. So I usually throw football on the right side TV just out of view. And I'm looking, going, what is setting up here?
Yeah, that was an interesting. It's only happened a few times throughout the mergers and stuff like that. And
1965 was the last time, right?
They said 76 was the
76?
last time it was made. That last time it was made. You know, there's been a couple attempts here and there, but it's never been made since 76. Ironically, San Diego Charger kicker that did it against the Bills, which I thought was kind of an interesting fact. Supposedly no footage is they have no footage so far that they have found so far of it, though, unfortunately. But another fun fact that I did not even know as a Green Bay Packers fan, the NFL record prior to this 57-yard free field goal kick, the record was a 52-yard field goal done by the golden boy Paul Hornung, Hall of Famer. Packers, back when the running backs could be kickers back then. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting fact that a record was broken that way. Anyways, so, yeah. But in terms of Denver Broncos, they obviously need to get back to winning stride. They're the 7th seed. They're behind the Chargers. Not a big panic mode because obviously there's a 7th seed, but still they have to keep winning to officially clinch. I think they get it done against the Bengals. What?
I would say the opposite. I think there's a big panic. This is a team that
Well,
can
no,
still
like the panic
catch
is
them.
not. They still have they're still in the 7th seed, so they obviously need to win. But they
But this is a
still.
team that, like, a win, you get rid of one of those teams that are competing still.
Well, yeah, they're gonna win, but I'm saying like not the urgency of like, oh, we lost to the Chargers, so now we're like on the outside looking in. They're still in the playoffs with that 7th seed.
But
But they
ultimately,
have,
so I guess a win for them, it won't lock up playoffs, but it all but locks up playoffs.
yeah, it probably would make it harder for the other teams to get it. So yeah, I do think Broncos win. I'll say 28-13. I think they easily beat the Bengals. Bengals defense is atrocious. They beat the Browns, but the Browns suck. They're far worse.
And they
Don't put
almost didn't beat the Browns.
Yeah, but the Browns are the Browns,
But
unfortunately.
that's what I'm saying. They almost didn't beat the Browns.
Yeah, you're right, but I don't know. Defense sucks, so I don't see them beat them right now. They
Listen,
got to get their defense offense.
did you give a score?
Yeah, 28-13. Broncos.
Okay. Denver's a top 5 defense in the league. Cincinnati's a bottom 5 defense in the league. I think that's as far as we have to go. Not only is Denver top 5, but they are like a top 2 passing defense. Joe Burrow is going to have nightmares. He's going to be going to Sam Darnold seeing ghost mode after this game. Give me Denver 31, Cincinnati 13. We're going to rightfully knock Cincinnati out of the playoffs here.
I didn't know wait, are the Bengals even? Are they technically still alive?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't even.
That's why I was saying, like, they know they have to win this game. Cincy wins. If Cincy were to win, let's say, Miami got eliminated, correct?
Miami got eliminated, yeah.
Miami's not officially eliminated.
Oh, they're not?
Miami beat the Niners. So Indy, Miami, and Cincy are all alive.
All right.
They would have to win 2 and have a tiebreaker over Denver or LA to get in. Denver loses to Cincy, it's going to screw Denver. So Denver needs to play with urgency here. Not only would they eliminate Cincy from contention, but they would lock in their playoff spot.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Broncos for sure win. I just, yeah, they win. That's Bengals get eliminated. Saturday, 8:15, Arizona Cardinals at the LA Rams.
Rams are 6.5 point favorite.
All right. Yeah. Cardinals are officially eliminated. They obviously want to play spoilers in this game. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the Cardinals are going to come out swinging with this game. They know they can't win, but obviously they want to, rub it into the Rams and not try to lock it, because I don't know if they win the division exactly here. I think it depends if Seattle loses. And then they would lock it up if they win. I'm going to say the Cardinals get it done. I'm going to say it's 23-20. Cardinals get an upset here and play spoilers.
I never thought I'd agree with you here, but I'm going with the Cardinals also. I don't think the Rams are that good. They barely held on to beat the Jets last week. Cardinals are pissed. They're playing spoiler.
That Bills victory was a fluke.
The Rams won?
Yeah, would the Rams beat the Bills? That was a fluke.
Hold on. So you had a boatload of fun facts. I've got one for you.
What?
The Rams have played better on turf than they have actual grass.
Well, don't they play on turf?
They do, but that has been when they've played the best. They're averaging almost 24 points a game on turf versus like 14 a game on grass.
But you're still saying the Cardinals?
I was still saying the Cardinals. I still think the Rams are a little bit. I'm still saying the Rams are a little bit over, like, built. Because if they go to the playoffs, they're going to face somebody on grass regardless. They're not a good team. Give me Arizona to upset them here.
All right,
even if they don't have a running back. 21-20 Cardinals.
Okay, 1 point game. All right, now this was originally a 4 o'clock game, but it's a 1 o'clock game because it got flexed. The Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles are a 9.5-point favorite.
First of all, is Hurts playing, or we
Haven't
don't
heard
know?
anything yet.
I'm gonna go with the assumption he's not playing because usually when they get concussions, it's very rare for them to come in the game of afterwards. Sometimes it happens, but the likely it's usually you miss at least one game.
I mean, shit, look at
Um,
Cedric Tillman.
yeah, like I said, it's rare, but it can't happen. But I just don't think it's going to. Um, the Eagles, despite him not being there, almost beat the Commanders. They really should have beaten them. There was a critical drop pass that basically cost them the game because they kicked the
Well,
field goal.
maybe that has everything to do with the fact that they only threw it 2 targets all game.
That too. But nonetheless, I think the Eagles get back in a rebound. And I believe with this win, they do win the division, even with the Commanders winning, because they would have 13 wins. And I think the Commanders have 10. So I think they mathematically would lock it up at that point. I do think the Eagles win. Just backup or not, I'm gonna say Barkley's gonna go off. They're gonna have to rely on him heavily. I'm gonna say it is 31-14 against the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles win the game easily.
You are correct. A win at any point in the next 2 weeks would guarantee the Eagles the division. But I am going to agree Philadelphia wins. Give me 24-10 Philadelphia.
All right. Next 1 o'clock game, we have the Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Bucks are an 8-point favorite.
Yeah, Buccaneers desperately need this win. They lost to the Cowboys last week in an upset. Panthers running back redeemed himself.
Chuba Hubbard.
He redeemed himself because the last time they played the Buccaneers, he's the reason why they lost that game.
The
With the
Canadian Nightmare.
and he got the touchdown to win this last game in overtime. But I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to play more with urgency because they do not control their own destiny now because now the Falcons have won. And we'll get more to the Falcons when that game comes up because obviously we recorded the prediction last week before the Falcons made their decision of quarterback change. But nonetheless, in terms of the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield's got to get back to stride. I think this is going to be a shootout game. I think this game might go to overtime again. But I still think the Buccaneers come out on top. Give me what's a touchdown? I'm gonna say 30. I think like with 34-27 or something like that. That's a touchdown, right? Or no, it would be 33-20 because they don't do extra points. So it would be 33-27 in overtime touchdown victory. Baker Mayfield gets a winning touchdown pass, and the Buccaneers will win the game in overtime.
Give me the spoilers. Carolina Panthers.
All right.
I've gone well betting on them all week or all year. 24-14 Panthers.
All right. Next, we have the New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo.
Bills are a 10-point favorite.
Oh, wow. They were giving them a lot for this one. Yeah. As much as I want to say that Aaron Rodgers is going to win this game, I can't do that because Josh Allen is a menace. And despite him not playing that really particularly good in this past game, I can't
You
see
don't
him.
say. Thanks, Josh.
I can't
see 2 leagues.
Yeah, that's what happens, unfortunately. But nonetheless, Josh Allen, I think, gets back to Josh Allen MVP form. I'm gonna say 31-20. Bills win. And yeah, 3 touchdown passes for Josh Allen in this. Bills win.
We're pulling the starters because we have to, because they can't keep hearing people bitch about the New England game. Give me 45-7 Buffalo.
Also, by the way, how's his hand doing?
I think he'll be fine. He'll be okay.
Yeah, I think it'll be.
X-rays came back negative to my knowledge.
Yep. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the New Jersey Giants.
Colts are an 8-point favorite.
Yeah, the Colts have problems, but the Giants have worse problems. The Giants are in position to possibly get the first overall pick. And they probably are going to keep that stride going with this one. Colts win. Give me 16-3. Colts win easily in a low-scoring game.
Well, according to Steiner math, the Colts should win this one pretty handily, but the Giants, you forgot to factor in Samoa Joe was on the team, and when the Samoa Joe's there, the Colts have a 33.3% chance of winning. I'm going with the Giants.
I didn't know Samoa Joe was on the team, but okay.
Well, he might be, at least for Steiner math purposes of picking this. Yeah, we're going with the Giants 20-13.
20-13? All right.
Sure shit.
All right, next we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the New Orleans Saints.
Raiders are a 1-point favorite, but it's basically a pick 'em.
Yeah. The Saints looked like complete shit against us, which obviously clinched my Packers playoff spot.
Hey, can I say one thing?
What?
Thank you, Jordan Love, for not scoring more points.
What do you mean? Because you won money on it?
I went to the finals of the Dynasty League because he didn't score more.
Oh, because he took himself. Well, they took him himself with like 6 minutes.
And what sucks even more is if he would have thrown to Jaden Reed prior, I would have beaten Pisner in the other league as well, because Jaden Reed actually started to get involved when Jordan Love left.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna say the Raiders win. The Saints, there's a lot of problems with the Saints. I'm just gonna say 20-10 basic score. I just don't really see anything good from these teams right now, but I think the Raiders are the better team coming into this game. So I just gonna say the Raiders win.
Listen, if I had to say one thing about either of these teams that is of note, I think it's that the 3 starting receivers for the New Orleans Saints are possibly the 3 worst receivers I've ever seen on a roster in the last 20 years. Who's the number 2 receiver for the Saints right now, Frank? I would be willing to bet $500 you couldn't figure it out.
Nope. And we just played them.
I'd be willing to tell you when I say his name, you wouldn't even have heard of him before.
No, I mean
Kevin Austin Jr.
Kevin Austin Jr. Isn't that the guy that used to be the wrestler?
No. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That was a joke.
The Saints team is horrendous. They put this high draft stock in Kendre Miller. He's not the answer. We don't know if we're seeing a healthy Alvin Kamara the rest of the year. Aiden O'Connell doesn't look bad.
They're about to be the Yanks again.
Aiden O'Connell doesn't look bad. Give me the Raiders. Give me the Raiders 14-10.
All right. Next, we have Tennessee Titans at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Also a pick 'em. Titans are a 1-point favorite. Shouldn't be. Mason Rudolph looked pretty good last week. Give me Tennessee kind of in a blowout. Give me 28-17 Titans.
Yeah, I don't see Jacksonville winning. Jacksonville's been crap, and Tennessee's crap too, but I still think pick the odds of the Tennessee winning here. 28-10 Titans. 4:05 game, Miami Dolphins at the Cleveland Browns.
Miami has to win to stay alive. They are a 6.5-point favorite. We don't know who the quarterback is for Cleveland.
Doesn't matter.
By that fact, give me the Dolphins 20-17. I would say Cleveland covers.
Yeah.
because I don't trust the Dolphins, but Dolphins will eke out a win.
Dolphins win the game easily. I'm going to say it's 27-6. The Browns look atrocious, and I have no faith. I say the Dolphins easily get it done. Browns are in position to also get the first overall pick as well. So there's that as well. Dolphins win the game easily, keeps their playoff hopes alive.
So not to push this any further, but like a little side note real quick. If you're the Browns and you do get the first overall pick, do you trade that pick for all resources to try to get more pieces for cheap to build around having to eat the albatross of a contract that is Deshaun Watson?
You could do that, or you could draft a quarterback and let him sit down with Watson. Like I
Yeah, but the
think that
problem is if you draft a quarterback at 1, it's still a high cost. If you trade that pick,
Patrick Mahomes, it's worth it.
yeah, but Patrick Mahomes was the first overall pick.
No, but I'm just saying, like in general, if you get somebody of that caliber in the first overall pick, it's worth it.
Yeah, but is Shedeur Sanders that guy?
I don't know. We won't know until he
I don't
plays.
think so.
You didn't think Josh Allen would be the guy?
I'll openly own up to that, but I don't think Shedeur Sanders is that guy. 425 Packers at the Vikings.
Green Bay Packers at the Minnesota Vikings.
Basically a pick 'em. It's a 1-point game here.
You know what? We're in a weird situation because we did clinch our playoff berth. The highest we can go is the 5th seed, which is what Vikings currently occupy. We can't win our division. I don't exactly know what we need to do because I personally, if I was the Packers, I would want to play the Rams in the playoffs, and I would rather us be the 6th seed if we get to play the Rams than play the other teams. So this is going to be a little interesting. We have to beat the Vikings here, but if we do beat the Vikings here, I don't know what the tiebreaker scenario would be between us on who gets the head-to-head of the 5th seed versus the 6th seed. Assuming they don't win the division, because I think the Lions will win our division. But assuming that plays out, that scenario, I'm really wondering what we really should do in Week 18, because should we just take a dive against the Bears in Week 18 to ensure that we get the 6th seed? Because we're in a unique position in this seeding. And I was like, what do we do here? We do have to beat the Vikings, and I do expect us to beat the Vikings. I think it will be a close game. It was close last time. I think we're on the better end of the stick here. 33-30. Go, Pack, go. Let's get it done. 12 wins here.
So, I kind of just ignored you when you said that about being in a tough predicament. But
We are.
You're in a very tough predicament because this game is not a gimme. I'm not saying it's like
I'm not saying it's gimme. I think it's close.
But what I'm saying is I'm not saying it's that you can't win it, but I'm not saying that you're gonna win either. But if you win it, you also need to beat the Bears and hope that the Vikings lose next week. And I believe the Vikings face the Seahawks next week, which is they play
the Lions.
They do have the Lions. But the Lions, so if the Lions win this week and Philly happens to lose, the Lions can rest their starters.
Yeah, but we don't like I said, I think we should just stay for the 6th seed.
But here's the thing. I think you're better off facing Atlanta.
We don't know the unknowns of that quarterback.
I think you'd rather see Atlanta. A rookie quarterback has never won a Super Bowl. You'd rather see Atlanta. The thing is, if you lose this, you have to play everybody next week. You don't want to go to Philly.
Well, obviously not.
If you lose this week, Washington wins, you're tied. And it could push you to Philly.
We have the head-to-head, though.
But if you lose this week and Washington wins, you are at 11-11 or 11 wins each. If you sit everybody against Chicago and Washington wins,
at that point, we wouldn't sit people then.
But you just said about regardless. I think Minnesota's going to try to go for the throat. I think they really, really, really want to see, because technically they can still win the division also.
Yeah, they could still win their division.
I'm taking Minnesota to win. It's a tight game. It's a real tight game. Give me 30-27 Minnesota.
All right. All right. So the next one is Sunday Night Football, and that is 8:20. We have the Atlanta Falcons at the Washington Commanders.
Washington's a 4-point favorite.
Yeah, and at the time of the recording, we didn't know that Kirk Cousins was being benched last week. So yeah, very unknown. He played the Giants. Giants are not a good team, so it's not really the good show up. I say the Washington Commanders get it done. Give me 27-17 Commanders.
I'm also going Washington. Washington's biggest weakness on defense is the passing game. Michael Penix didn't look great passing the ball. They really won that game running. Give me the Commanders to win this one. Honestly, give me 38-17. We're going to humble Atlanta a little here.
All right, and that puts Tampa Bay back in the hunt for the playoffs, assuming if they win.
Well, I mean, I had Tampa losing, so I would have that.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if they win, though, that would happen. But anyways, nonetheless, Monday Night Football, 8:15. We ended week 17 Christmas week with
we end the year.
And the year, too. Detroit Lions at the San Francisco 49ers.
I don't think you could guess what the numbers are here.
14.
Detroit's a 3-point favorite.
Oh my God, that's
exactly ridiculous. Give me Detroit by a lot. The Niners are frauds. Especially if Green Bay wins on Sunday. Detroit's coming out and they're spanking that ass because they're taking the division.
Well, they took the division last year.
But they know they can lock it up if Minnesota loses prior to them.
Oh, okay. But what was that for the score?
Give me Detroit 38, San Fran 3.
I am also going to take the Lions, obviously. 31-9. They easily beat the 49ers. It's not even contest. This is going to be another Monday night blowout that the ESPN doesn't want because we had the first shutout this week. This one won't be a shutout, but it will still be a blowout. Another crap duster for Monday night. Nonetheless, that is how it is. And that is the last game. Make sure to comment, rate, do all that good stuff. Subscribe.
You gotta take it home.
Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, check that out there. And yeah, make sure to check out the Packers Recap Beast show for all the latest stats and all that good stuff. Where I talk about the Packers and breaking down that Vikings game. Right after that game is over. And now, Kyle?
Nope, we're going to just close it out. We're on under 30 seconds. So thank you for listening to us again for another year. We'll see you in 2025. Frank, take us home.
I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and he's the Reigning 48. We're out of here. Merry Christmas, everybody. See you next, or close to next year. Peace.